everyone, and welcome to my digital January book haul. So as I said in my goals video this year, I don't want to be hauling a lot of books each month, and while this is probably a lot to some people, this is a lot better than what I would normally have, and I'm really quite impressed with myself, especially since a lot of these weren't ones that I deliberately seeked out myself, but more ones that publishers had sent me links to. So I'm pretty chuffed that there are only 13 books on this list, most of which are NetGalley arcs, and there's a couple of audiobooks as well. I didn't buy any books in January, except unless you want to count my Audible credits as buying books. So the first book that I got in January is All the Rage by Cara. This is a book that I'm currently reading and have been reading for a while because I've just not been on my Kindle much, sadly. It's a book I'm really enjoying though. It's a mystery crime novel. I don't want to say anything more about it than this because hopefully I'll be able to finish it soon and then be able to either film a review or mention it in a reading wrap up. The second book I have to show you today is Wilder Girls by Rory Power. This is a book that I've seen quite a few people read and review at this point, and I'm really excited to be able to pick it up. I've not paid an awful lot of attention to what this book is actually about because I know that it's kind of weird and I didn't want to kind of spoil myself because I'm up for something a bit weird and different at this point. Then we have The Great Matter Monologues by Thomas Crockett. So this is set in England in 1527. King Henry seeks a divorce from his first wife Catherine, who can't give him a male heir. So this is a historical fiction, and yeah, I just enjoy reading around this sort of time period, so excited to give this one a try. Next we have The Mist by Ragnar Jónasson. I read, was it the first book? Yeah, I read the first book in this series last year. I still need to read the second, I think, but this is the Hidden Iceland series, and oh my goodness, I remember really enjoying this book, so I'm so excited to continue on with the series. Next we have The Wives by Tarryn. This is a thriller. I don't know anything more about it than that because I like to be as clueless as possible. I was so excited to be able to get The King of Crows by Libba Bray, which is the fourth and final book in the Diviners series. I've only read the first book, but I absolutely adored it, and so my plan is over the next month or two to try and just binge the entire series, and indeed that will be including rereading the Diviners because I need to know what happens. I can't remember the first book well enough to get stuck into the series, so binge. Next we have Big Lies in a Small Town by Diane Chamberlain. This is an author that I've read one book of and just kind of keep accumulating her books. I'm quite bad with it actually, but she writes kind of hard-hitting contemporary novels, and I'm really excited to give this a go. Next we have You Are Not Alone by Greer, Hendricks and Sarah Pekkanen. This is a thriller that I know nothing about and I don't want to know anything about. They also wrote The Wife Between Us, which I haven't read and do own. In fact, I think this is the third book I think that they've done together, and I kind of own them all and haven't read any, so need to kind of get on with reading those. Next we have His and Hers by Alice Feeney. This I know nothing about. I think it's a psychological thriller. It probably is, considering it's Alice Feeney. I don't want to even look at the synopsis. Then we have A Good Father by Catherine Talbot. I'm assuming this is some sort of domestic thriller and no clue at all. Then we have Rules for Perfect Murders by Peter Swanson. This has made it onto my February TBR. If you haven't yet seen my TBR for this month, I will leave that linked in the cards because it's worth checking out. And so the two books that I got last month that were not NetGalley arcs under audiobooks are The Edible Woman by Margaret Atwood, which I read for part of the book club by Victoria over What Victoria Read, which her book club is What the Book Club Read, where you read a Margaret Atwood book every month. It started last month with The Edible Woman, and so I grabbed the audiobook of that. Highly recommend, by the way. I actually really enjoyed that experience. And then I also decided to carry on with my progression through the Witcher series, so I couldn't resist. Even though it wasn't on my TBR, I picked up Sword of Destiny, which is the second kind of prequel collection of short stories that kind of introduce you to the world that you should read before reading the first proper book. and I'm currently reading this one and loving it. So yeah, quite a quick haul from me, mainly because a lot of them are thrillers and I don't want to look into the synopsis and potentially spoil myself for anything. A lot of these come out in the next few months and hopefully I'll be reading and reviewing them as they come up. But thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe by clicking the image of me if you want to see more book reviews and other bookish content from me, and I will see you soon. Bye bye!